Hey there, today I'm going to share with you 15 things you need to know when living in Nashville, Tennessee. So, if you are thinking about making that move to Nashville, then this is the perfect video for you, so stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Greg Spackman. I'm with the Living in Nashville, Tennessee channel. If you're looking to learn everything about what it's like living here, eating here, sleeping here, playing here in the Nashville area, then click the subscribe button and the bell to be notified every time I do new videos. Lately, I've been getting a ton of people that are calling me, texting me, emailing me about making that move here. I absolutely love it. So if that's you, please reach out to me. So let's get on to your 15 things that you need to know. Number 15 on the list is the job market. So, if you aren't aware, Nashville is a great city for a job. We are one of the greatest places, I think, for where people are moving to, where there are plentiful jobs. So, if you are looking for a job, you're going to be able to find one here in the Nashville area. There are a ton of corporations that have moved their headquarters to the Nashville area. In fact, In-N-Out Burger is building their eastern headquarters in Franklin, Tennessee, which is just 25 minutes south of Nashville, and then they'll be their first In-N-Out Burger place there as well in a city called Franklin, of course, and then in Berry Farms is where that is. Healthcare is our largest industry for jobs, so if you're in the healthcare field, then that's awesome. But there are a ton of other good companies, solar companies, just a random amount of companies that have moved their headquarters to our area because we are very tax friendly for the corporations. The number 14 thing that you need to know about living in Nashville is when we get word of snow, then that leads to no milk or bread in the grocery stores. In Nashville, I don't know, I would say every year gets a small little dusting of snow. Some years, like every 5, 6, 7 years, it'll get enough snow where you can actually sled or have snowball fights, make snow angels, that sort of thing. The big negative of this is in the Nashville area, we really don't have the infrastructure like the plows and other equipment that are necessary to move all the snow around. We have a few things, but just since it doesn't snow often enough, that they don't have all the infrastructure. And when they go to salt the roads, it doesn't really do what it does in other areas of the country where the salt really takes care of the ice. We get more ice also in the Nashville area than snow, but it just takes a couple days. Like one of the years when we were here, it snowed and we got iced in, and our driveway sloped towards the house, and we were stuck there for a couple days in our neighborhood. The outside of our neighborhood, all the roads were clear, but we didn't have any sort of plow service, so you were kind of stuck in the driveway. Well, my kids went and got these big tubs that we had in the garage, plastic ones, and filled them up with hot water and made some trenches to get the car out of the driveway. So something like that could happen. Now, when we know that there's going to be some sort of snowstorm, we will go and get a few things from the store, a couple frozen pizzas, some extra soda or whatever, just so that we have some stuff on hand in case we were to get stuck for a day. But it's kind of fun to be able to just chill at home and that sort of thing. It also leads to a snow day or for your kids, and now it's not as fun as it used to be for them for snow days, since they will have them do remote learning. I don't know how many kids actually do the remote learning, but they give you the assignments that you can do remote learning, and that's thanks to COVID. The number 13 thing you need to be aware of when living in the Nashville, Tennessee area is the weather. So during the summertime, that would be my least favorite time of year in the area because it is hot, it is humid, and it's pretty nasty for July and August, part of September. So by the middle of September, usually it's not humid anymore or not as hot. And so it's much nicer. And then, sometimes it'll start in June, sometimes it's in July, somewhere around that range is when it starts to get hot and humid. In the fall, it's one of the best times of year. The temperatures drop, it's not humid, the bugs are all going away or are gone. You don't have to mow your yard anymore because sometime in October-ish, you don't have to mow your yard anymore. The grass just stops growing conveniently, and then does that all through winter time. So then in April or May, somewhere in that range, that's when the grass starts to grow again, and then you have to start doing your yard work, and then the bugs return. So that's something to be aware of. Spring, it's usually 2 or 3 weeks long, it feels like. So it's not a long spring. It's kind of like a little bit longer winter time. And then it goes into spring for a few weeks. And then it's summertime all of a sudden. The number 12 thing about living in Nashville, this is something we really enjoyed moving to Nashville. We didn't really look that up ahead of time necessarily when we made the move to Nashville, but taxes. So you are not going to have state income taxes, which is amazing and awesome. That was a huge, bonus to our income when we made the move, because we no longer had to pay California state income taxes, which are some of the worst in the nation. But you no longer have to pay that. Corporate taxes in Tennessee are 6.5%, and then they do levy a gross tax receipt. So just be aware of that. Property taxes, it's going to vary based on which county you pick. But Davidson County, where Nashville's located, has higher taxes than some of the other surrounding counties. So we can talk about that when you call about what the current tax rates are and what kind of property taxes you're looking at. But overall, Tennessee has pretty decent property taxes. And Williamson County, which is just south where Franklin is, they have some of the lowest property taxes in the entire state. Sales tax in Tennessee, you're looking around 7%, and then the county can add 2.25%, I believe. So Nashville right now is sitting at 9.25% sales tax. So just need to know whatever yours is. And then they also tax groceries at a 4% rate, I believe. This is something I wish they would just do away with. There shouldn't be taxes on your groceries. Maybe on certain groceries, if they wanted a tax like alcohol or candy or something like that. But your normal groceries like buying milk and bread and that sort of thing, I don't think should be taxed. It's best to talk to a CPA though, since I'm not an expert on your taxes, and find out what you income and everything else, how that's going to work out for you. The number 11 thing you need to be aware of is allergies. And so this is something that you really need to take note of. If you have allergies, you should get tested once you're in the Nashville area, find out what you're allergic to, and then see what your doctor or the allergy center can help you with. I just know that my allergies went pretty bad, I would say, in the springtime and the fall. And that's when they, start cutting the hay or the flowers and trees and everything is blooming. And then in the fall, when everything is dying or they're digging up the fields or, cutting it for the last time of the year. One of the things that really helps me out a lot is some sort of Claritin pill and Flonase. So just depends on you. You need to talk to somebody who really knows what they're saying, but that's what my doctor and me kind of decided on. And that seems to work pretty good. Typically, I have a day or two a year where I feel really bad, and then I just take those as maintenance days and don't do too much. The number 10 thing you need to be aware of when living in the Nashville area is your bugs and your snakes. So they have a ton of bugs, chiggers, ticks, everything else you're going to find, that has become less and less as they build more and more, but you're going to run into that here. And then snakes, you're not supposed to kill them, so you can call and someone will typically come and relocate them. There's some Facebook groups you can join where they'll have someone come and relocate the snake. Most of the snakes are just your garden variety, like rat snake type of snake. There are poisonous snakes or other snakes you should be aware of, so you might want to look that up so that you could know which ones are in your particular area. And, just talking to your neighbors, they'll be able to let you know how big of a problem you have with snakes, but it's just something you should know about. The number 9 thing you need to be aware of is car registration, and that runs you somewhere around $86 a year. When we first moved to the Nashville area, it was $44 plus a $7 smog fee, if I remember correctly. Now they did away with smog, so you don't have to deal with that anymore, which all that was, you sitting in line and going through the smog station. And it's going to vary based on which county, and you need to register your car in your current county. So just check that out. But it's going to be less than $100 a year on pretty much any car you have, which is cool since they don't charge you more based on what car you have. The number 8 thing is Broadway. So if you aren't familiar with Broadway, Broadway is up in Nashville, and it's where all the bars are and music events and where the Nashville Predators play. And the Titans almost play there. They just play across the bridge from there. But it's super cool. Lots of different cool places for you to go and listen to live music. It's The number 2 bridesmaid place that they go for bridal showers, or whatever you call the thing for bridesmaids when they go and do their party. That's there. You have the honky tonk bars, tons of cool places once again to listen to live music, whether you like country or you don't. Lots of stuff there to do. The number 7 best thing about living in the Nashville area, this is one of the best things about there, is the sports. So you got the Nashville Predators. So if you're an NHL hockey fan like myself, then you can go to a Predator game. Then you got the Tennessee Titans. If you're a football fan, Tennessee seems to have a mediocre team. Not great, not terrible, just a team. You got the Nashville Soccer. So you got MLS soccer team there. You got professional rodeo. I went to one of those. That's super cool to go watch. It's really, really interesting to go see the professional rodeo, how it's all done and set up and everything. They are trying to get an MLB baseball team to the Nashville area, so we'll see if that actually can happen. And then they really would like to get a NBA basketball team, but I don't think we're going to get one with Memphis being a team about 2.5 hours away, 3 hours away to go watch a game. And I don't think they're going to move. So it would have to be an expansion team. So we'll see if that either we can get a baseball or a basketball team in the Nashville area. So that would be awesome. And then the last thing about sports is college football is huge in the Nashville area. So you just need to be aware there are a lot of University of Alabama fans, and then Auburn fans, and then Tennessee fans. Those are your 3 major teams, and then everyone else that moves throughout the country has their favorite team, whether you are, a Duke team or something like that. So that's sports. The number 6 thing you need to know about when living in Nashville is our traffic. And the worst traffic you're going to deal with in the Nashville area is going to be on I-24, and that's coming from Murfreesboro into Nashville, and then Nashville up to Clarksville. So just the whole I-24 is the worst traffic. Interstate 40 can be rough at times. The loops can be rough at times. The 840, 440, 65 going south into Columbia from Franklin-ish area, it gets backed up. Just know that we don't really have the road infrastructure, or they haven't really built that. And then we don't have any sort of mass public transportation that we need to build. They should run something down each of the freeways, elevated, and run like some sort of light rail system so that you could get from, say, Murfreesboro into Nashville and, Franklin and Columbia into Nashville. That would help a little bit with the freeways, but they don't seem to want to do that. And, it'd be cool if they did. The number 5 thing that you need to be aware of is the cost of housing. And our housing costs have just exploded since 2020. I know that it has everywhere, but we've had home prices double, triple, quadruple. Some homes have gone from $1 million to a $2.5 million home, that sort of thing in the Nashville area. The median home price right now is $570,000. We can do a little bit better than that in certain areas if you're looking for a 3 or 4 bedroom home, but that's what the median listing price is. And for the most part, we're getting right around near asking price. Sometimes we can negotiate on the home if it's been sitting a little bit, but it just depends on that. And that's something we definitely talk about. The median sold price was $438,000. So you can see it's trending upward of the listing prices. We're just seeing more and more expensive homes, I guess, get listed, which is raising that listing price up. Homes are taking on average about 50 to 60 days to sell, which is kind of flat from last year. It's just not really taking any longer or any less. And remember, the really, really good homes are still selling same day, 24, 48 hours. If the home is immaculate, it's staged right, like what we would do if we listed your home. We would make sure it's staged correctly. We minimized everything. We made it look the best possible because we want to get you the most amount of money and sell it in the fastest time possible. So rent, you're looking at around $1,700 for an apartment, and then homes are going to be in the $2,000 to about $4,000 range, and then that's really going to depend on size, location, and everything. Certain cities are going to be more than that. You're not going to be any less than that, but that's what you're looking at for rent. And then one other thing to note about the housing is there are lots of new construction. So if you're wanting to build your home, we absolutely love helping people build a home. We highly recommend it. If it's not us that helps you, you hire a real estate agent to help you with your new construction home so you get what you're after. The number 4 thing you need to be aware of when living in Nashville is your food choices. And this is something that really surprised us when we made the move to Nashville. We didn't think they would have great food options, but they really do. And so if you're into hot chicken or you haven't ever tried it, you really should go to Hattie B's and try their Nashville hot chicken. It's amazing. There's a line in pretty much all of them, all hours of the day. Even if you go at like 11 o'clock at night, it'll still be busy. There'll be people eating there. If you're a steak fan like myself, then my favorite is Stony River. Make sure you get the coffee cured filet if you like that. Otherwise, the bone and ribeye is amazing. There's also a place in downtown Nashville called Jeff Ruby's, and that's really, really good, but it's also really pricey. I think we went and I had sushi and steak for my birthday a couple years ago, and it was $450 for me and my wife. So it's pretty expensive to eat there, but it's an experience. Super neat. Mexican food, we found that Mexican food is pretty close to what we had in California. We really like a place called Oscar's Tacos or Cali Burrito. My favorite other place, sit down type of restaurant, would be Acapulco, and that's in Spring Hill. If you're a burger fan, then you got the Pharmacy in East Nashville or Burger Republic. And then there's a few other burger places. If you have some you want to share, comment below, let me know. Haven't found a really good Italian food place. For the most part, we would just go to Carrabba's or Olive Garden, and really those aren't great, but we really do like the bread at Carrabba's, so at least that's solid there. Sushi, there's some decent ones, but nothing great compared to where you can get it elsewhere in the nation. For whatever reason, I never have found a sushi place that's just, really, really good, even though it should be. Breakfast, if you're a breakfast fan, then First Watch has a really good place for breakfast. And then if you are a pancake fan, then I'm a big fan of Cracker Barrel. If you haven't eaten at Cracker Barrel, they have pretty good breakfast. And then, of course, you have Waffle House, which everybody loves. The number 3 thing you need to know about living in Nashville is the music scene. So it slowed during COVID. I had some clients and stuff that did music, and they were having a tough time getting gigs and everything during COVID because of all the places being shut down. But that's kind of picked back up. So if you want to listen to music, there's a lot of cool places, a lot of cool bands that you can hear in the Nashville area, whether it's country or not. If you're wanting to play music, then there's lots of different options for you to play. All the different clubs have different live bands, and then all the churches all have live bands. So lots of different options as far as music goes in Nashville. I've heard it's one of the top places in the nation for music, for you to get your start and get going. But that's number 3. The number 2 thing you need to know about living in Nashville is we have really good health care. So if you are concerned about health care or you're not, just know that you have good health care. We have Vanderbilt and a bunch of other hospitals. The Williamson County Medical Center is really good. Just lots of good places that you can get good care in the Nashville area. So that's something to be aware of. And the number 1 thing that you need to be aware of when living in Nashville is our roads. And we have pretty poor quality roads, I think, as far as elsewhere that I've lived. And we just have lots of potholes. There's some that'll be on the freeway that'll be like 15 feet long at times, different side roads and county roads. And sometimes then you have arguments between the city and the county on who's supposed to fix the roads. So you're going to have to deal with lots and lots of potholes and lots of other roads. And then a lot of the roads don't have sidewalks or siding or curbs. So if you aren't used to that, that can be a shock to you to not have that sort of thing. And so hopefully these 15 things make you still want to make that move to the Nashville area. So if that's the case, I'd love to hear from you. Please reach out to me, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, and I'd love to talk to you about making that move here to Nashville. So until next time, I'm out.